just a bit of work on the Peugeot, the 406. I don't know how, I've got a load of videos I need to upload, so I'm just going to make this short and sweet, because I'm not even sure sometimes if these ever get time to get uploaded, but I'll just show you a few jobs I'm getting on with. So first up, under the bonnet, what I did before I've just been away, I adjusted this throttle cable, because this little grommet had come out, and then I fully adjusted it, so there's a nice taut cable there. Fly-by-wire, but they still use a wire, and this is a potentiometer, which is to the common rail system on the engine. So that's been nicely done. I've greased up a little bit round some of the pipes. This cross member down at the front is in fantastic condition. I've just protected that up, and I'm just busy doing a little bit of servicing now. This pipe here had a cable tie on here, which isn't good because you've got your MAF sensor on the airbox, so therefore that is after the sensor, which is not what you want any form of air leaks past that point. So that's got a new clamp on, tight. Already had one at the front. New air filter, to be fair. The air filter was not too bad at all, but me being me, it's not a very recognisable brand. I know it's just a cheap car, but I've just put a nice new original equipment man one in, which I'm just getting a little bit of dirt on, which I'm really annoyed at. So that's going to go back in. The same can't be said for the pollen filter now. This car, as I'll show you, had a little bit of a leak, which I'm going to get to. So it did steam up a little bit. And it was a nightmare, because I just had to drive back from the airport at -3 in what had hell clear the screen. And it was, the fans were blown, but just not a lot of air was coming out. Unfortunately, I've just chucked all this stuff in the bin. I'm not joking you, it was this high with stuff. But that is well and truly one of the worst pollen filters I've ever seen. And if you look on the dates there, Peugeot Citroën 06, 07. It's an 04 car, 05, 06, would have been its third service when it come out of warranty, when that was changed last, and that's done 200,000 miles. So yeah, but believe it or not, it's actually quite clean in there. This stuff here I need to blow out, because it's just all the bits that's come off it. So what I'm going to try and do is block that up with probably the old filter. I'm going to knock all that stuff out of it, put the old filter back in, just get the high pressure air and clean out in there, and just reattach this little seal on here. So that's what all I'm going to do really tonight. New pollen filter, which will help a massive amount. I changed the wipers, and I forgot how annoying proper Bosch ones, Peugeot 406 front wipers can be, because this side's no problem, because you can, even with the bonnet closed, you can lift this arm up, no bother. That one, you've got in the end, I got sick of it. I just took the whole arm off to get the wiper on, because the arm only actually lifts up about this high off the screen, even when it's the bonnet's closed and everything. Absolute nightmare. That's done, but the front wipers are sorted. Clearly, I stuck a nice new Bosch wiper on the back while I was on. And the other issue with it was the back lights were a bit iffy. The indicators were flashing white, so I put new bulbs in there. There's a new one in here. Then the ones that go down to make it. So I've replaced all of those. Fog lights weren't working. Now they are on the inner parts. But unfortunately, the reversing light connectors are pretty poor. So what I'm going to try and source are just 2 new backlights with these. Mainly, there's nothing wrong with the plastic, but the lens, but it normally ends up being just as cheap to do it that way. So I'm just going to get 2 of those for the bulb clusters, because the bulb cluster in this side is knackered. It still works, but it ain't very good. So I'm just going to buy 2 second-hand units and hope that the bulb clusters in them are good. Reuse the bulb, change the bulb clusters, reuse these, then I'll just have 2 spare lenses, because it'll cost you the same money. So that's that. Nice little new aerial that I had, because the other one wasn't great. I'm going to give it a lick of super resin ceramic. Just a quick buff over before the winter, because they've just started spreading the salt. And also underneath, I am going to just put some of the good old chain grease underneath, just around some of the subframes and any exposed areas, to give it a fighting chance. But like I've said, it's in mint condition, these sills, as I've showed you on the introductory video. I'm going to see if there's any little holes in them, like drain holes, and get the cavity wax up inside of them and protect the inside of the sills, and obviously unblock any drainers, along with obviously the drainers in the scuttle panel, which we'll want unblocked. As for the little leak, which I said it had, it's only on this side. And the carpet is mildly damp, so what I've got in the front there is my dehumidifier from home. So tonight I'm going to leave that running all night in the car, just to help dry things out a bit. But where the issue was this membrane. I actually bought some new membrane And I didn't realise this. I thought this would have been torn to shreds. And I used some of this stuff here. It's in a little toothpaste tube. Auto sealer. It's very good. It's like a silicone adhesive sealant for like indoor-outdoor use. And basically, just peeled all this back where it was loose and put this isn't Bonnie here because I had a bit of an accident with it, but around. And now it's all nicely bonded all the way. The area of the leak was here where it was totally detached off the door, and now it's nicely attached. But I am just going to leave this door card off tonight while I run the dehumidifier, because silicone cures with humidity. So when you lower the humidity in the car by using the dehumidifier, it'll speed up the curing process, because it's going to be -4 tonight. So that's what I am actually going to do. Run that. Do that, leave that door card. It's a lovely, easy job to take off. So tomorrow morning, or when I get time tomorrow, pop the door card back on, and that should be the bottom of the leak. It's no more leaks in the car, so it was mainly just there. And if the other side starts, I would go the whole hog and do it all, but I'll just monitor it. And if I detect another one starting to go, then I'll do it. As for these little bits, I bought a touch-up pen. When I get time, once I've painted it, I've got it in there, a little touch-up pen. Just this little scuff that it had here. Just going to touch it in. It's not going to be a shortcut. I just don't want any exposed metal. I've got oil due to come. Do an oil and filter change with 540. The air filter will be done. Pollen filter. Fuel filter. Going to leave that alone, because the guy did say he did a full engine service on it, and I do believe him, because that has been changed recently. The oil filter doesn't look that bad. So to be fair, the fuel filters on these can be a little bit of a pig. So we're just going to leave that for now. I've got it in the back of the car. I've got all the filters here. In fact, while we're on, I'm going to get the pollen filter out. But that's the oil filter and the fuel filter. But like I've said, for now, the fuel filter can just wait its turn. But that is all of the stuff that's just come off that pollen filter. That's unbelievable. I'm so pleased now, because I was disappointed how poor the fans were in this car. This is the new pollen filter to go in. Original equipment one. Man filter. I'm just trying to show you with one arm. Looks to be right. Like that one with a bit of sponge. So that's to go on shortly. I topped up the screen wash with some high strength stuff, because it is starting to get cold. Hydraulic power steering levels, checked that was fine. Antifreeze, I strengthened that up a little bit. I am actually going to re-drain that bottle again and stick another litre of fresh antifreeze in, just so it's nice and strong for the winter. Bar that, not much. The fan relay has been disconnected. I've spoke to the guy, because it used to run all the time, but even in midst of summer, you'd struggle to overheat one of these. But I do believe it'll probably be a temperature sensor on the aircon unit or in the radiator. If not, it might actually just be a dodgy fan unit. But to be fair, I'm not worried. This thing's got loads of temperature gauges for the oil and the coolant, and the nice live gauges on these. So if it did ever start to overheat, I've got plenty of time to stop. Simply plug the relay in and it'll cool itself off, but obviously it'll just run continuously. The tyres, desperate to sort those. I think there's definitely either a wheel buckled or a tyre not good, because there's a definitive wobble at 60 and 70 mile an hour, quite violent actually. So what I am going to do is, good, I've got it up on the lift, just spin the wheels by hand and just see if I can see something. The tyres are pretty much knackered anyway, but however, I don't really want to be putting 4 tyres on. I am on the lookout for 4 winter tyres for it, if I can get a hold of them. But bar that, not much. The key, is that in my pocket? Where did I put it? It's in there. I'll show you on a separate video. The spare key, the key for it, which I said he lost a chip out, or I bought another chip, glued it into the key, put a new battery in the key, and I just need to see if my equipment can code the chip in. If it can't, it can't. If I can, I can. Happy days. I might be able to see somebody in a key shop to do what they call a clone of the other chip, but I don't know how these things work with it being a late 04 plate. Oh, and I have got myself a lovely set of plates coming for it, original remade dealer plates. I'll show you them on a separate video anyways. So yeah, we'll leave it there. I'm going to get on and start building things up. Right guys, just quickly, because it's going to be -4 tonight, and I want to get this plastic on before it starts getting cold. So as you can see, I've sealed the door up. It's certainly no work of art, because I had a little bit here which I wanted to put along the top, but this stuff is absolutely fantastic, I will say. This VTech auto sealer, very, very good stuff. Happy with that. So obviously we're here, as you can see, it was all loose. Now it's all firmly attached. There's a little tiny bit at the bottom corner here where it was ripped slightly. I decided not to use the stuff I bought because this was actually intact, because a lot of people just get these and rip them and then they're ruined. So in this case it's all good actually, so I've repaired that, just got the door card to put back on. While I've been waiting around, all the bits which I showed you on, if you look on the when I bought it, were little bits. It's a very common fault on these where the paint sort of flakes off, and any little chips, like there was a bit here where the paint was off, I've touched that in. And again, same along this roof line, along there. And there's been the odd little, oh yeah, round the front here, this little bit I showed you on the wing, just touched it in. Just it's not perfect, but it's just to stop any more rust. So that's done. Pollen filter, you've seen what the situation was. That was all done. I'll show you under here. Basically, I've got the battery cover off. So yeah, new air filters in, pollen filter. It's unbelievable, next level how good the interior fan is now. No wonder it wasn't working. So that's that done. The only thing I did do is the dipstick was a bit dodgy. It snapped off, and I've got a genuine Citroen Peugeot one for the grand sum of £6. So that's due to come sometime. So that's just in loosely for the moment. Just because it looks crap and it's no good, so you can't get it out. So yeah, so that's kind of most of the stuff done under here. The only thing I am going to do, which I'm still waiting on the oil, is the oil and filter. And as mentioned previously, the fuel filter is definitely just going to be something for a different day. That's not getting done. I'm going to keep the filter, obviously, I've got it. The new clamp on here, so all the air box and everything is in as it should be. So that's that. And obviously, like the way I like to do things, all the little screws that have been touched, greased, so next time you come to use them, I'll take them off. They're not rusted. And I've obviously had this thing here. It's actually covered up because we've been doing some work, but my trusty dehumidifier, which gets used all year round in my house, I brought that from home and I left it running in the car overnight. Unfortunately, with it being in the minus figures, it doesn't work to its full potential, but it still worked perfectly because the floor now is absolutely bone dry. And I've also pinched Holly's hairdryer just to speed up the process under there. And there's a mat which I'm just going to leave off for a little bit longer just to give it a better chance to dry. So we're going to get the door card back on, and that's it. I'll show you. I'll come back to you when it's on the lift. I've got a little bit of grease to spray under. I've got 4 snow tyres, which I may have a deal sorted. Unfortunately, they're run flats off a BMW, they're star rated, so it may impede the ride quality of the car. But these Peugeots have got super comfy suspension to start with. So it is what it is. It's either going to cost us, at least 350 quid for a decent set of winter tyres. I think I'm getting them for about 80, 90 pound for practically brand spanking new Pirelli run flat snow tyres on some form of aftermarket rim, which may be a shame to scrap them, but which fits a BMW, which I may be able to move on. So I'm going to try and get a deal done for that, because the tyres, I need to look properly on the lift. I know that they're bad, but there's something wrong definitely somewhere. Either the wheel's not on true, or there's a tyre with a flat spot. I don't know, but I won't know till I get it on the lift. Either way, regardless of what else could cause that, the tyres are not good. And like I said, we've had snow already. So to be honest, I wouldn't mind the 4 snow tyres on it anyway. And for the miles I do, they work perfectly over the summer as well. Like I mentioned, for going up tracks on grass, it's perfect. They just can be a little bit annoying if you do lots of motorway driving because they wear down. Because actually winter tyres, if you don't do many miles, are perfect in this country for all year. For wet, obviously snow, ice, grass, gravel, all the kind of rubbish we get in this country. If you don't do a lot of miles in your car, which I don't really. So I'll get the rims cleaned up as well, and new valves, and get them balanced. I was beginning to think it was a balancing issue, but it can't be. Not at like 10, 20 mile an hour. You can feel the car kind of doing that. So I need to find out what's wrong with that. So yeah, I'll catch you soon, because I'm trying to catch the light because I want to get this door card put on. Right guys, final bit of the video. A lot of the work I've done, I'm going to be honest, I forgot to record. Look at the state of my hair. We're having the hood up. That's because it's been so cold. I've been having the hood up, guys. So yeah, I'm getting it sorted underneath, all checked over. It's actually bang on. I've done a coating of the grease. I wish I had gotten a photo, but I didn't. I'll wait until I do something else. Oil and filter change, air filter. You've seen all the work I've done there. But what I did do, like I mentioned, I got a cracking deal on those wheels. I can't remember again if I've done a video on that. But if not, you'll have to see it again. So here we go. I've given it a clean as well. But it's looking absolutely bang on. I've just given it a quick ceramic coating once over. Nothing much more than that. The only thing I have got, like I've mentioned, I've got an original set of plates just like this, being remade up with the same old school font and Dale Garage at the bottom. I'll fit those in a later date, or I might even wait until after the winter, save hammering those nice new plates. So cleaned up really nice, but when I did put it on the lift, I was absolutely alarmed of how bad the tyres were. I would have thought twice about using it, which again, driver error. You should always check your vehicle before using it. It's error on my half. I'll put my hands up and admit no one's perfect. Tread wise, they were fine. Condition wise, however, they were not. But I am super pleased with how this car's come up. But you will be noticing, if you look closely at the wheels, tyres, I got these Pirelli Scotto 03, which I believe are one of the best winter tyres you can get. You may notice, yes, they are run flat, and yes, they are star rated. I don't like run flats. However, as part of the cheap challenge, I got 4 brand new. I reckon they've done less than 500 miles. In fact, I'll just show you up close. They've still got the printing and the little nipples on them. They are brand new, all 4 of them. Yes, I know they run flats, but this being any other car, I would think twice. But this being a Peugeot 406, the springs are absolutely huge on these, and they're known for their comfort. So I'm pretty sure that bad boy will be able to make it up. So I suppose, however, if I am out in the wilderness somewhere and I do get a puncture, I can get it home. Yes, it doesn't have tyre pressure monitoring, but I always check my tyre pressures once a fortnight, once a week anyway. So I've got 4 brand spanking new Pirelli run flats snow tyres, one of the best snow tyres I will add you can get. So this is going to be perfect. As you can see, we've got a scattering of snow and ice, and to be honest, for the miles I do on motorway driving, they'll be stopping on the car all year round, because what I do is a lot of campsite driving. I go up tracks with the dogs when I go on walks, so for mud and grass, it's absolutely perfect for that. So yeah, got those done. And let's just say I got those cheap, very cheap, with a set of BMW aftermarket wheels, which I'm going to try and move on. So yeah, I think that's it. I said that door card has all been sealed, so hopefully there'll be no more leaks in the back. Yeah, it's just been bits and bobs, really, giving it a good go. So there we go, that's it. What do you think? I did have to spend a bit more on the 4 tyres, but let's just say I got all of those for less than I could have probably gotten one of them tyres. Let's just put it that way, less than that. And I know them tyres are very expensive. For the price of one of those, I've gotten all 4, plus a set of wheels to get rid of. So we'll leave it there, guys. I'm keeping it short. Just wanting to do a run up of it, what I've done, and etc, etc. I'll give it a run. Got those number plates to do. And to be quite honest, I ain't going to do a great deal else, because that car has simply been bought just to use, not abuse, just to use. So let us know below your comments, anything you think I should do, anything you think I shouldn't have done. Do you think it's a good decision? Just leave your comments below, guys. Like I've said, I much appreciate all the help everybody gives with the GoFundMe, the buy me a coffee, the super thanks. But again, just the little things, guys. Hit the like button, comment, subscribe. It's all free of charge, and it helps the channel so much. And I'll catch you all on the next one.